Hey, what's going on guys? Pete on the beat here. In this video I would like to talk a little bit about something that really changed my life and helped me really adapt to the ketogenic lifestyle. And basically this was something like my introduction to the ketogenic lifestyle and the one meal a day approach and whatnot. It basically all started for me with the world famous trainer of celebrities and bodybuilding stars like Arnold Schwarzenegger, uh, Wally Scott, Frank Zane, Muhammad Maccabi, Vince Gironda. During the 70s he developed and invented this way of dieting. It's called the steaks and eggs diet. Basically consists 2 meals a day. They can be spread out in the day or in a 8-hour window between the 2 meals. As I mentioned, each and every meal is exactly the same as the other. It consists a lot of beef, steaks, or ground meat, or burger, or whatever, with some butter and whole free range eggs. There are no additives, no sugars, no protein shakes. There are very few supplements, and the only drinks that are allowed are black coffee with no sweeteners, no sugars again, and some green tea or other tea, but it has to be 0 calorie. The tea, I'm not talking about other zero calorie drinks. So back on the supplements, the highly recommended by himself, the Iron Guru Vince Gironda supplements are, correct me if I'm wrong, but those that I personally know are the higher in iodine sea Celtic salt, the desiccated liver, and the magnesium for a proper electrolyte balance. You're also highly suggested to drink a lot of water during the day in order to stay hydrated. This is what exactly I'm about to do right now. So staying on this diet for 1 year completely changed my life, make my adaptation to ketosis really smooth. I really feel that the whole eggs and the red meat make the transition from burning carbs to burn fat as a primary energy source extremely smooth. I think those two together are the perfect foods. They have perfect amino acid as well as the perfect fatty acid profile. But after a while, I found something really interesting, and this was another of the greatest bodybuilders from the 70s. But personally, one of the greatest of all time, Serge Nubret. You probably know the guy. Here I would like to mention that I found both of those bodybuilders on a website, and I would like to give credit to this guy, Victor Pride from Bold and Determined. You should go and Google this guy out. It's a great blog for self-improvement and that kind of amazing stuff. So I found Serge Nubret there, and I found something really interesting. Actually, Serge Nubret used to eat a lot of red meat, mostly horse meat, with some white rice and lentils. I'm not into carbs and I'm not big on horse meat, but the idea really impressed me and really took my attention. So I took a decision to make something like experiment and actually incorporate best of both worlds. So I started to eat only once a day, a bigger meal during night time, around bedtime, not exactly before I go to the bed, because I actually, after the meal, I have like a ritual or process of really clean my teeth and everything. That takes me like half an hour or something. This doesn't matter. But I start to eat only steaks and eggs, but once a day. And this changed my life again. This is basically the ultimate diet for me. And there are a few details that I would like to mention for you. The conventional or the regular diet of steaks and eggs, how it was exactly invented by the Iron Guru, was basically 72 hours of eating only steaks and eggs, and after that one carb meal, or the other version was like 6 days or 5 days in a row steaks and eggs with butter and salt, and on the 7 days one carb meal. And Vince Gironda, as I probably know, also told many of his trainees that you actually don't need to eat junk food, and you actually really don't need the carbs. My personal opinion is you really don't need the carbs. So what I would suggest you is to cut all the carbs from this 3rd day or 7th day, and instead of carving up, simply eat other forms of fat and protein. For example, what I did the first year was I used to eat like 6 days in a row steaks, eggs, butter, feel great and whatnot, and on the 7 days simply buy whole chicken and eat whole chicken with butter or olive oil if you like olive oil, and tons of red pepper, black pepper, and that kind of seasonings, but no sugars again, and salt of course. I try and keep my sodium intake even in order to get my aldosterone right, but I'm gonna talk a lot more about this in other videos. So you can do this. You can also do fish. Another thing that I really enjoy, a meal that fits perfectly in that kind of a lifestyle, and I highly recommend it because of all the good fats, omega-3s, and amino acid profiles of the foods, is some eggs with butter on a dish, with some salmon steak. But I highly recommend do your homework before buy any kind of salmon, and Google Salmon Confidential. I will put a link in the description, or simply go to the Dave Asprey Bulletproof Executive website and check his take on fatty fishes, because he's big advocate of fatty fishes and everything, but as long as everything is proper and healthy. If you can, my personal opinion is, if you can find wild caught sockeye salmon, go for it. Where I live, there is no wild caught sockeye salmon. I love salmon, but I stay away from the regular salmon. So after a while, I start eating my one meal a day, which nowadays simply consists a lot of red meat, no pork. I don't like pork. Many of the ketogenic gurus probably will blame me for this, but I don't like pork. I know a lot of people think it has the perfect fatty acid profile, but I don't like bacon, I don't like pork. There is no religious purposes for this, but I simply don't like pork. So nowadays I eat eggs, steaks, and whole chicken every day, one meal a day before I go to the bed. Yeah, the meal is slightly bigger, and I also cook everything. I don't cook everything in butter besides the eggs, but I do add a lot of butter these days. I prefer the French butters. When I started that, I was big on Kerrygold. I highly recommend go for Kerrygold, try it. I'm not saying nothing bad for Kerrygold. Kerrygold is probably the ultimate butter, the butter of the butters or whatever, but I simply like the taste and the creamy texture of a lot of the French butters. And basically this is it. If you wanna try this way of eating, try it. Let me know what you think. Again, check these websites that I mentioned. You will find great information out there. Excuse my English again. Peace and I'm out.